What's up, everybody? Welcome one more time on Walker Talks. And today I have a very special guest. I'll introduce you guys, Tara Walker. Hello,
Hi.
Tara.
Hi.
How are you doing?
I'm good. Johnny just made me do a challenge, which we failed miserably at, and I think you've pulled my hamstring. But aside from that, I'm good.
That's good. That's good. So today we're gonna talk about some personal life, goals, business,
Yep.
and everything else, right? I think it's gonna be interesting. So I hope you guys enjoy. If you are not subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Subscribe. Put the little bell on so you can see when is my next episode is coming up, and I hope you guys enjoy. So today she's going to
What am I gonna say?
interview me, kind of.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I did the preparation, so
let's start. What do you have for me?
okay. Your story, how we met, and first impressions. So let's start with that. What was your first impression? Well, actually, where did we meet? How many
So-
years ago?
We met in 2019, Thailand, Phuket, Thailand, and my first impression was, I think she's the one. I kind of fell in love in the first time. 'Cause I never see something that make me really feel like, because when I grow up in Brazil, right? We always we go to the school and you see like beautiful blonde girls, blue eyes, like that kind of girl in Brazil. You need to be rich to have. And as I growing up, I was a very poor boy, and the blonde girls, blue eyes, don't give much shit for guys like me, like the way that I look, the way that I have not much money back in the day, you know. So I was growing up thinking like I need to get my cute blonde princess, you know. And then when I saw her first time, I said like, this is the one that I was looking for. So for me, it was kind of love in the first sight. I don't know if she felt the same, but she probably take a few more days.
Yeah. My first impressions of you were, one, you were really tall and you had very intense eye contact. Like you didn't look away.
I still have it because
Yeah.
I was impressed for her, how beauty her.
Yeah, but like you stared, I was like,
I feel a little bit uncomfortable, like because
Yeah.
I was desiring her with my eyes. I was like,
yeah.
I can't stop looking at you.
So that was a bit intense. And then I didn't know what the UFC was. I knew like I didn't really know a lot about it. I thought UFC was a sport. You know how a lot of people think like, oh, do you play UFC? And it's like, no, UFC is the organization, MMA is the sport. I was one of those people. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't follow it. So yeah, I just remember thinking you were really tall and you just didn't blink, didn't look away.
I was impressed.
Yeah. And then, yeah, it wasn't love at first sight for me. It was probably day 4 when we took the mushrooms. We'll get on to that later. Okay, anyway, life updates. Where are we? Last time we did this, I think I was pregnant, but I wasn't telling people. And we were living in Dublin. So we're not in Dublin anymore. Where
Yeah.
are we and what's the crack?
We moved to Vegas. We are currently in Vegas right now. I'm living here. So
Are you meant to look at the camera?
yeah, we can. People was watching us.
I know, but it's very uncomfortable.
Imagine me staring at her on the first day.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, we moved to Vegas from Dublin. I spent 4 years in Dublin. Very successful little journey there. Make a lot of friends, make a few steps on my career, learn a lot, make a few mistakes, still learn, you know. And then we move here because we decide that for the next few years, I'm gonna do the best for my career, because my career is not forever. So what you can do to get the most money, the most successful for myself, because I don't want to be in a 5-6 years ahead, like I should do that, I should do that. No, I don't want to have no regrets. So I want to be in the best place with the best people, with the best training partners. So this is why we move here, because I have UFC Performance Institute to train. They do my nutrition, supplement, physiotherapy, strength conditioning, psychology, recovery. So in one place, and I live 5 minutes from it. So it's very handy, because in Ireland I have to travel for all day, 4 hours to train, because 40 minutes to go, parking, blah blah blah, 40 minutes to walk is kind of 2 hours, just one training going back, you know.
Yeah. If anyone has knows Dublin, the traffic is insane.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, I don't know, and the public transport I don't think is good enough to rely on, really. So yeah, quite often Johnny was spending so many hours in the day driving to and from training, and then it was like he would get home and barely have time to recover before his next training session. So, and it definitely wasn't planned. Like so your last fight is almost been a year ago now, was in Saudi, and I had Kaio. I was induced early because Johnny's fight was on when were you, 13th of June or something? Yeah, my due date was the 10th, so I was induced early so that you could be there for the birth. And then you went, I was a few days or a week postpartum, and you went to Saudi. Obviously didn't get the result you wanted, and then it just became more like, can I swear?
Yeah.
Like, oh fuck, like we need to be a lot more mindful of what is best for us. And it was just all more obvious because we had Kaio, and it's not just about us anymore. So yeah, immediately after you came back from Saudi, it was like a kind of rough, like a kind of flat, kind of like depressing few weeks. We tried
postpartum as well.
Yep.
Lost my fucking fight.
Yeah.
And then we decided, like, let's go, let's do it. And I went to Gilroy.
Yeah, so after
DC.
Saudi.
Then we went to Thailand first or after? After, right?
After. So yeah, then we in Saudi, DC said, do you come and train in Gilroy? So then literally as soon as Kaio, we registered him 3 weeks after he was born, the first day that you could in Ireland, and then immediately applied for his passport. And as soon as we got that passport, we applied for his ESTA, which we used to come here, and we flew to California, spent 10 days with DC.
Trained a little bit with DC.
And then we drove here.
On that time I was like looking for a house to buy as well. Was this
yeah,
house
we bought the house, yeah.
We bought the house that time to live. That was living now here. This is my kind of gaming room, and where I do the podcast as well. And then we just moved here. The best thing for me.
But it was more like we came and we looked at Vegas, and you tried out Extreme, you tried out going to the PI, and then we were like, don't make any decisions, because it's obviously a huge life decision to up and move. And we had such a base in Ireland. And then we decided, let's go to Thailand, spend some time there, and just take it all in. And it was there that we were like, the obvious decision is to move here. It's what's best for your career. And it just, like, I think you need to be more selfish for the next 5 years. Anyone who truly loves you will understand. And I just need to be behind you 100%. So, like, I'm not going to lie, when we first talked about leaving Ireland, I was an emotional wreck, drinking the old vino. Loving my wine, and I just was really sad to be moving away from my family, my friends, and I just had always imagined Kaio would grow up in Ireland, and then I just kind of had to suck it up and realise that you guys are my family, and you're my immediate family now, and my family in Ireland are now like my extended family, and it's only a plane ride away. So yeah, in Thailand we decided...
It's for our own benefit as well, no?
Yeah, like, totally, because...
We're growing a lot here, we learn a lot, improving, working together, and every day we set new goals and organizing things, and everything's getting better, no? And he's in America, it's easy to manage so many things.
Yeah. Like, not shitting on Ireland, because that's where I'm from. I love it. It's always going to be my home country. But we lived there for, 3.5, 4 years. And Johnny still couldn't get his driver's license. And it wasn't for lack of trying.
And internet, I could get good internet.
Oh my God, the internet. We had 12 megabytes a second. That was the speed on a good day. And then we got here, and within like a matter of weeks we got our driver's license, so it's a lot more like efficient. There's definitely drawbacks. I've got one of those questions down here about living in America, but yeah, I just think whenever we weighed it up, I love a list. I probably wrote a list, should we stay, should we go, and it just was so obviously the right decision to move here. So here we are, Vegas. Anyway, next one. You're currently in fight camp for EFC 316
June 7th
in New York.
I'm gonna
New Jersey.
fight Azamat, so he's number 12. I believe I'm number 10 or 11, I don't know if they changed, but yeah, very excited for this fight. Training camp is going really well. I'm adapting really well on Extreme. Eric is my head coach now. He's doing a really good job, you know. He's good on the pad work, he's good on strategy, so yeah, I'm enjoying, getting excited and getting better every day, feeling better, feeling more fit, using the Performance Institute for
yeah, so talk us through a typical week in fight camp.
Yeah, typical week I have. Monday, I have, like last week I was doing strength conditioning in the morning, in the evening I was doing wrestling, but
it's not wrestling. W's side. Wrestling, yeah.
And then strength conditioning Monday, Wednesday, Friday, sparring Tuesday and Thursday, Friday jiu-jitsu. Wednesday I was taking off, I was just doing strength conditioning. And Monday I was doing strength conditioning in the morning and wrestling in the evening. But tomorrow I'm gonna start doing pad work in the morning. I'm gonna cut strength conditioning, I'm gonna do just twice a week, because 6 weeks out I do just twice a week, and then once a week, getting close to the fight. I reduce strength conditioning and increase like martial arts to get more technique and more cardio, like sport specific cardio and condition. So I just changed the strength conditioning, reduce a little bit, and Tuesday and Thursday sparring, and Wednesday just strength conditioning. Maybe I go do yoga or something like Lagri or something, right? And or just take off and relax, because Tuesday and Thursday are very intense days, and I do like a stratosphere as well. That
altitude training. It's really cool.
I just do like cycling on a chamber that stimulate replicate the altitude, like.
So it's meant to improve your VO2 max.
VO2 max, and help to recover as well, and help to my lung expand, and do the hard work. Yeah,
it's like what do you call them? The things you put on your feet, the boots.
Compress boot.
It's a compression boot for your whole body. It's pretty cool. And then you do the odd recovery session in the PI, sauna, ice bath, hot tub. You do physical therapy in the PI.
Yeah. And get my lunch, breakfast, lunch, dinner. PI is great, because they give all of my nutrition that I need, supplement as well.
He has a nutritionist. We still work with Tristan, or his nutritionist from Ireland, but there's a nutritionist in the PI who's great, and Johnny does like a weekly check-in on this machine called a Sika, which I don't know.
Body composition,
inflammation, water, and then if there's any amendments that need to be made to his diet, that's all done, which is amazing for me, because I used to do his cooking back in Ireland. So I was never out of that bloody kitchen. Next thing, deep questions.
Do you like deep questions?
What does your ideal life look like in 5 years?
5 years, hopefully my baby have 5 years old, and we're playing a lot around there, and hopefully I can be retired, no fight anymore. I'm gonna be like 38. I don't want to fight when I'm 38.
Do you know?
I want to change profession, you know. I know I can do the best in 4 or 5 years, but I don't want to fight against my limitations that the age bring when you get old, you know. You get slowly, you get less dense bones, and you compete against younger fighters. So now in my prime, I can fight anyone, but in 5 years I'm gonna be close to 40s. So imagine I'm close to 40s, the guy mid-20s, like 10 years young. Like what's happened to Hunter Smith last fight? He have all experience, he's tough, high level, but the guy is 10 years younger than him. Quicker, faster, less injury, less experience, but more will to do anything.
Yeah, not even more will, but just like Anthony said in the post-fight interview, like, my body's just not as quick anymore.
Yeah, it's just,
but who knows, you're like a genetic freak, so at 38 you could feel like a 28-year-old, because you do say you feel it. But anyway,
hopefully I can, but I want to be financially sustainable, make smart investment with money, manage everything, right? Because if I want to fight it just for fun, not for money.
Okay, so 38 years, what? 5 years.
38.
Oh yeah. So in 5 years, what does your ideal life look like? Where are you living?
I don't know where I'm gonna live, but I believe we want us like a sunny holiday, nice chill place like Thailand, maybe Spain, maybe Portugal, you know, be able to be traveling and like have money enough, every like passive income that's gonna pay for our, we're not very expensive life, you know.
No.
Just pay our food, our little trips, you know, our sustainable life.
And what
have
do you
a chill,
like?
nice life.
Have you thought about what you want to do work-wise for when you retire
Maybe
from fighting?
a lot of social media, you know, YouTube, maybe some stunt, maybe some acting, you know. I'm working on it already, so let's see how it's gonna play out.
Yeah, and I bought that domain this week for
Did you
company. I bought it, yeah.
For the company? I'll have a company, maybe manage a company, some management stuff, right?
Yeah. Okay, more dogs, more kids.
Hopefully in 5 years I'll have 2 kids. Not 2 more kids, but 2 kids in total.
What, Denny and Kyle?
One more, Kyle brother,
Or
sister.
does anyone else's husbands, I'm going to get a blanket, does anyone else's husband annoy them when they say son? Whatever God blesses us with, we would be delighted.
Yes, 100%.
You going to ask what my ideal life would look like?
What's your ideal life in 5 years?
So I will be 38, but I'll have so much Botox that I'll only look 28. And yeah, living somewhere sunny, because me in cold weather doesn't do great. Like, in Ireland, as soon as it gets dark at 4 p.m, I'm like, well, only one thing for it, and then I'd have a glass of red wine, which isn't great. So I definitely feel my mood is much better whenever I'm somewhere sunny.
Everybody.
To everyone. But like when I think of my happiest times and when I feel like I'd be my best self, it's been in a sunny country like Thailand, Qatar, here. So yeah, summer sunny for sure. Denny, our little rat dog who barks at everything, but we love him. Kaio, happy, healthy, and God willing, maybe more kids. And yeah, I always said that you would fight for however long and I would do whatever I needed to do to support you so you could become your best self. And then when you retire, it's my turn and I would go back to teaching. But I actually don't know if I could see myself doing that, because we work for ourselves. I mean, obviously you fight for the UFC, so they tell you when there's a fight and you prepare and things, but I really enjoy managing my time and my schedule and choosing what I do and choosing what can be delegated, and not having, like, I think I would really struggle going back to alarm at every day. And
when you have a boss, you have to follow a schedule. It's a little bit a prisoner, you know. Now you feel free. You want to build yourself. You want to put as much effort you want to anytime. You don't work for nobody. Work for yourself. You make money for yourself.
Yeah.
As long as you hard you work, you can take, like, nobody need to pay you extra to you do extra hours. If you're doing it's because you want to, you know.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if I would go back to teaching, but I never know, because sure, I did law first and then teaching, and back when I was teaching, I never thought I would co-manage a fighter. And that would be my job, and doing social media and stuff. So who knows what 5 years will bring. Anyway, next one. When did you know I was, sorry, hang on, I can't read. Oh yeah, what's your controversial take? What's a thought that you have that could get you cancelled? If it's really bad, I'll edit it out, but like, what's your controversial take?
I think so many people, they are blind to what they are taught. People don't try to find the truth. Like, bro, you just get sick.
Bro?
Yeah, you just get sick. It's just true. What you eat, you know, and how you live your life, what you use in your body. People should do own research and don't trust big companies, you know. Just try to be healthy and do your own research, because most of the time, big companies don't tell the real truth. They just care about money. So you remember back the day, like doctors advise you to cigarettes is healthy, 1 a day or 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
then look
they
at
find a reason to use the product so they can make money, but
Yeah.
on the end of the day, they don't care about your health.
No.
You can get sick, and like the little powder for baby talc.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I use this good for a baby, blah blah blah. Then 5-10 years later, it's carcinogenic.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And
you
also
put in
remember
your baby ass and balls and whatever, you know. And then they absorb there. Imagine.
Yeah.
In 10-20 years, somebody get cancer. You don't know why. It's just because
Yeah.
you be drinking or eating something for so long and absorb that on your body. One time, my friend, the bills come, you know, and it's very expensive.
Yeah. So your controversial take is that like normal food and things are making us sick and we need to be more...
It's not normal. No, actually, it's normal that you can get every day, but you just have to be a little bit mindful what you put inside your body, what you consume.
Yeah.
You know, like even mentally and physically, you know,
Yeah.
like food-wise and content on the internet or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it can fucked up your health, mental health as well.
Yeah. I don't know what my controversial take is.
What's your... Be fat's an option?
Well, I was fat. So, speaking from experience, I think everyone should prioritize finding a movement that they find enjoyable. Maybe that'll get me cancelled, I don't really care, but I've been fat in my life. I've been obese according to the BMI scale. I was definitely a big fatso after having Kaio. I was Johnny's weight at some stage and I'm 5'2". Unacceptable. And like I would be completely lying if I said I was happy then. I was miserable. So for me anyway, and I'm not speaking for anyone else, but I just think when I was fat and not looking after myself, in no way was it self-care. It was not like opening a bottle of wine and having fizzy sweets and ordering a pizza. That's not self-care. Actually, self-care is doing something you maybe don't want to do today for your future self. Because in January, whenever I got here, I was like, right, actually, what are you doing? What are you celebrating? Why are you drinking wine? Why are you eating shit? Why are you like the sweets over here in America? They're so delicious, but they're full of like all these dyes and stuff that would be illegal back in Europe. So I just wasn't prioritizing my health. And to be honest, in January, I was like, Kaio deserves to have a happy, healthy mother. And so went back to the gym, started eating healthy, and
lost 200 kilos.
200, yeah, but I had that to lose. I actually don't know what I've lost.
30.
No.
20.
I'm 55 and I was 93.
55, 93. More than 30.
That can't be right. 40.
More than 30.
Fuck. And I don't even have photos to prove I was that fat, because whenever you're that, when I was
have
do you?
videos. You're fucking...
Why do you have videos of me being fat?
Because Kyle was just born and you were holding him.
Oh, well, no, even though like immediately postpartum, I'm going to give myself grace. I might have been like fair enough. Obviously you've just had a baby, but it was after that I was like, oh, I deserve this because I couldn't have it when I was pregnant. So then I was just indulging.
Something that you think you deserve.
Yeah.
It's not the best for you.
No.
Who told you deserved it? Who told this is something that somebody deserved?
That's all to do with what you were saying. I think it's all to do with like companies making money from you. We sound like raging
It's the
conspiracy
propaganda
theorists.
they teach you, and it's like if you've been telling like parents and friends and they think that is good, and you start believing that's good, and you start harming yourself.
It's not even like friends and family and stuff. Like how many people on social media are saying like, and I'm not being bad, but there's plenty of people out there who are like massively overweight and they're preaching self-love. And so I know whenever I was overweight and I was unhappy with myself, I would see people like that and think, oh, well, they're really happy. So like, it's fine if I'm going to have this pizza for dinner and skip the gym and all these different things. But they're making so much money out of this like toxic self-love. Do you know what I mean? Like actually, if you just prioritize your health, like I was saying, prioritize a movement that you enjoy. I really enjoy Pilates now. I'm not a gym gal anymore, much to your dismay, but I would be doing myself, I would feel like I was dragging myself to the gym every day and I wouldn't be enjoying it. And that's why I think it's important to find something you enjoy, because something like a Zumba class, that would be hell for me. That would be right up your street. You would love that, but like that would be hell for me. So I wouldn't keep at it, but I love the Pilates. So
Find something that you enjoy and
yeah,
keep it.
yeah. And just like, I also just think you need to like make an effort on your health, because I think so many people are chronically not looking after themselves. I was one of those people that you think that like it's normal to feel like, you know, shitty and all these different things, and then it's not until you prioritize your health, until you feel better, do you realize like, oh, actually I was miserable there and I wasn't, you know, being my best self. So I don't know if that'll get me cancelled, but that's my hot take. Okay, next question. What's the hardest part of fighting outside of the cage? Like, what's the hardest part of being a fighter apart from stepping into the octagon?
I believe it's managing. Like I just learned this a few weeks ago with the psychologist, UFC psychologist, Mika. Shout out to Mika. Let's go, Mika. You need to know where and when to change your hat. It's just a figure mode to say, but you know, when I leave home, I have to put my fighter hat. When I come back home, I take my fighter hat off and put my dad and husband hat. But you still have to be an athlete on the end of the day, you know. No eating shit, keep your diet, you know. And just have a normal life. Like when you're elite athlete, you're doing things that you're not naturally, your body not supposed to be doing. You repetition, high intense trainings every day, you know. So much sore pain, you're like you spending your joints and stressing, physical stress and mental stress, and then you have to combine these, live with these, and get home your husband, your dad, your son, and sometimes you don't know how to. No, not that you don't know. It's just hard to manage it, because sometimes the physical stress, because you train too hard, affect you mentally, and then you be a little bit aggressive with your wife, if you're like you're short, like no good mood. It's not because you don't love them. It's just because affects you mentally, you know. And it's hard. It's hard to change your heart, because it's my life depend on this fight, you know. It's my career. I bet everything on this. Moving countries, you know. And
do you feel pressure?
It's not about pressure. I think it is pressure, probably it's pressure. I don't know. It's just a lot of responsibility, you know. And then you have to deal with different others in your life. I'm a fighter, but I'm a dad, I'm a husband, I'm a friend, I'm a brother, you know. And beside that, I still being a fighter, because another day the fighter have to be there again, you know.
Yeah. So in a way, I kind of think all those things come secondary to being a fighter, but that's what we signed up for. You know, like I know, and I want to be priority number 3. Like number 1 needs to be fighting, 2 Kaio, 3 actually God's way up at the top. But I'm fine being like further down the list of priorities. For the next few years, when you retire, I expect
and
to
then
be right
I'm
up.
Fucked. Then she's on the top of everything, and I have to just.
But definitely, there's sacrifices.
Okay, baby, go, let's do it, blah blah blah. But I'll be happy to do, because I will be accomplishing my goals in my career. You know?
Yeah, I would say that. Like obviously, I don't get in the cage. That would be my worst nightmare. You know, sometimes I have night terrors that. Actually, I'm the fighter and John's in the corner, John Kavanagh, and he says, like, I know you've never trained. This is like a repeating dream. I know you've never trained, but someone pulled out of the fight and you're up.
Go and
no,
beat that bitch up.
I think I wake up when I get knocked out. Anyway, whatever. The hardest part of fighting outside of the cage, I would say sacrifices, because for me, like I was planning to go back to Ireland for the month of August to see family, spend time with them, and it turns out we're not able to because of visa issues and things like that. So I had a wobbly few days, a few tears were shed, but yeah, it's just what we need to do for you to become.
Feel sacrifice, right? But
Yeah.
it's for the good of our future, you know.
Yeah. And also we're so like blessed to be, like, how many people want to be in the UFC and would be killing to have these hard parts of their life. So I think it's important to frame your mind. Anyway, when did you know I was the one? When you first laid eyes on me and kept staring?
Yeah.
Yeah?
That was I was staring. I'm not fear or shy to say I was loving first sight. You're so sexy and beautiful. Like you look like everything that I always wanted, you know. Of course, from the beginning, I was dating a lot of girls and blah blah blah.
No.
But when I saw you, it was hard to take. No, it wasn't hard to take all of the other opportunities around. I was on a bad habit, you know, living a different habit of a commitment, a relationship, you know. But worth it, you know. And I'm happy with you today, and I'm gonna be happy forever.
Forever and ever, amen.
Yeah. When did you thought I was the one?
Can I talk about illicit? Don't look like that.
Talk about what?
Do you think I'm going to say, can I talk about sex?
No. Talk about what?
Mushrooms.
Okay.
Okay, so I am like a real goody two shoes. I've never touched drugs, no desire to, apart from weed and mushrooms. But Johnny, we met in Thailand. I'd lived there for 2 years, and I had no idea like Thailand had a seedy side. Like, that's what I mean. I'm a really goody two shoes. But Johnny kept saying he really wanted to try magic mushrooms, and so we took them like 4 days after meeting, and I cried. I cried.
You cried, my wife. You cry and laugh and why I'm crying.
Yeah. But I was like crying my eyes out. It was so weird.
And then have a little nice trip, and
Yeah.
I was doing the tornado, remember?
Yeah. Yeah, he was doing this thing like
Because
pretending air
we
conditioning.
have air conditioning and it was blowing very strong.
And that like creased me. I couldn't stop laughing at that. But I remember you walked towards me, and clear as day in my head I said, I would do anything for this man. Ew, that's so embarrassing. I'm saying that out loud. But I just remember thinking, oh my God. And then a few days later, I was flying back to Ireland to see family for like 2-3 weeks. And then I was moving to Qatar for another teaching job. And I remember I sent a voice note to my bestie in the airport, and she replied and was like, it sounds like you love him. And I was like, that's so ridiculous. Like, I've only known him for a few days. But yeah, I guess it was baptism of fire. And then you flew over to Ireland and met my family and brought me a little potted plant. Do you remember the little plant you brought me?
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
No, actually not.
No? You did? My mum put it in her greenhouse.
I brought a little plant.
Yeah, a little potted plant rather than a bunch of flowers.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, what is your favourite thing about me?
I actually...
You can't say that.
No, okay. Another thing is favorite about you is the way that you, like, the little saying that you have, like little jokes, you know, like your little things that you do. You know the little jokes that you have, and you talk about like the like pretend to be like a little dog, you know, and we have little handshakes, like a personal little things that we have, just me and you. I think this is make our connection really good, because we start doing something and then became a habit, and we always do every day, you know, like a handshake, like that.
So his favourite thing about me is when I pretend to be a dog crying.
Not just this, just an example,
Yeah,
no? The little things that we do together.
Okay.
That for other people make no sense, but for us it's cute.
Cute. What's your least favourite thing about me?
Your noni. Let's talk about this, guys and girls. She is 33 years old, this woman, and she still have a noni. Don't be embarrassed.
I'm not embarrassed.
I'm gonna burn that shit very soon. She have a little piece of like tissue. No, I don't know what the fuck is that. It belongs to her sister. Her sister is 34, right?
Yeah.
She's older than her, and once her sister let that shit go, she...
First off, should we say what a
You
nonny is?
heritate from
I
your
inherited, but for some people call a vagina a nonny. So let's just start by saying it's a blanket.
She called nonny, but
Yeah.
what is my nonny?
Yeah.
She have to sleep the shit. I have to wash that shit every week because she doesn't wash.
No.
It's like a clear
Dobby?
gray color.
That
shit get dark.
You know Dobby from Harry Potter?
Look like his clothes.
Yeah. My friend used
What
to
is
say that.
it?
It's in my bed, obviously, because I sleep with it and I have to...
I have to wash every week because she never washed that shit.
No, because I know it's so
horrible.
fucked up, but I like how it smells. I do this. And if I ever forget it, I have to have like a little rag. Like when you washed it and then it was still wet, I used your t-shirt to like do like this. I love it so much. I can't sleep without it. If I go for one night away, I take it with me and I'm never getting rid of it. And if you burn it, I'll burn you.
Let's see. I'm gonna wash so many times that's gonna just...
It actually doesn't have a lot left. It used to be a blanket.
Hopefully that shit's just like...
Disintegrate. I know. My friend Orla says that's where COVID started.
You can say that word here.
Oh, can you not? I'll bleep it out. Can you not?
I don't know. I don't think so, but
whatever.
fuck it.
What is... No, I've answered you. My favourite thing about you, I would say your optimism, which I think is brushed off on me. Like, I care a lot less about things I shouldn't care about. Like, I still care about... I'm not careless, but I think I was a lot more caught up on, like, what people thought of me and what I should be doing, and I don't know. I think the fact that you're very authentically yourself... Here he is.
Come on, I. Here.
That you're very authentically yourself and positive. I think that's just really nice to be around, because like negative people to be around, it's absolutely draining.
I'm so optimistic that I can give people energy, you know.
Yeah. See, so the opposite is true. I do feel like energized by your optimism. Now sometimes whenever I'm like, oh, I'm feeling really like anxious, and you're like, don't be anxious, I'm like, oh shit, I hadn't thought of that. So like that doesn't help.
So simple.
So that doesn't help, but at the same time I do love your kind of blind optimism, because it is contagious. And then my least favorite thing about you is, where do I start?
Nothing. She loves me.
No, I do obviously love you, of course, but you don't listen very well sometimes. And it's weird because
what you mean, when I don't understand your accent, or I just don't listen because you tell me to do something and I do anyway?
No, like it's weird because I'll say something and we'll discuss it, and then the next day I'll be like, so did you do that thing? And you're like, what are you talking about? And you don't have a recollection of what we had talked about the day before, or I actually don't know, but I have to, how many times do I have to repeat myself? Sometimes 12, 13 times. It's very annoying. But apart from that, everything's great. Okay, when did I surprise you?
Surprise?
Not like surprise, it's your birthday, like, but when did I do something that you were surprised by?
When you stop drink wine. You change a little bit of lifestyle. Like, she was alcoholic.
I was not.
Like, look at her size, and she drink a full bottle of wine.
Easy work.
Every day.
Easy work. That's
Christmas. When I say, why are you gonna drink? It's Christmas. The whole December, it's Christmas, and wine.
Fuck it, it's Christmas. That's what was my saying. So.
And then when she just stopped drinking, that was really big surprise for me, because it's come from her culture, you know. I don't blame her and I don't criticize, but the way that she was drinking was really like, I have an alcoholic wife, you know. Because I don't drink much, like, I don't actually drink.
I think it's like a clash of cultures though, because you don't drink and you would never have like a glass of wine with dinner, and your mum doesn't drink, and you don't come from a family who drink. But like my family, if we're celebrating something, we're
that's
having champagne. My dad,
celebrate. So you celebrate every day?
Yeah, so that's where I took it and ran with it. I was like, I'm celebrating the fact that I made it through a Tuesday. That was obviously not great, but yeah, that was good. When did you surprise me? In labour, when I was in labour. it was, oh my God, the worst. If you're about to give birth, don't listen to this. It was the worst thing ever. It was the most fucking painful thing. Nothing could have prepared me. I had like a birth plan written. I had makeup as though I was going to sit in labour and do my makeup and watch a true crime documentary. I had a projector of like lights, and oh my God, just hit me with a ton of bricks. It was absolutely fucking horrendous, but you were really good. And I remember being like, I can't do this.
Of course you can.
Yeah.
You have to come out.
Yeah. It was so scary. And I remember before my mum used to be a midwife, and she said, Tara, just don't be scared of the pain. And I was like, that's a strange thing to say because I'm getting an epidural, so it won't be painful. It didn't work. It was agony. The whole, oh my God. But anyway, you were really good during labour. Not that I doubted it, but just like, you were just very calm, and I felt very vulnerable, and I felt very protected and looked after, so that was good. Okay, next one. Coming from Brazil and living in Ireland, what did you find odd in Ireland? Apart from our drinking culture.
The cold, the rainy every day.
4 seasons in a day.
That's crazy. And the lack of internet.
Yeah.
Fucking Europe, bro.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But that's straight. But even within Ireland, so like my family have a house in a rural little town called Downings. There's like a shop, a pub, a restaurant. Like there's not much there, but it's the best place ever. We love it. But they have better internet than we had in certain areas of Dublin. So it is just, it's not, I actually don't know what the crack is there. But
besides that, not much surprised me, much things. It's just,
I feel like Brazilian and Irish cultures
linked.
link.
They're very similar.
Yeah. And what has surprised you about moving to America? Like what cultures here?
I don't hang out much. I don't go much out the place. To focus on my career and train and recover and stay home. But I just think here in America, it's a lot of propaganda of consume, you know?
Consumerism.
Like they make you, like another day, I know it's people like that shit, but like just for example, like they launch a new game like Nintendo Switch 2, and when they open midnight to sell the pre-order, midnight one was
1 minute past midnight.
1 minute was sold out.
Yeah.
Like people wanna buy that thing, you know.
Yeah.
Everything, and they don't really research and about to like healthy food.
Yeah, but you wanted to buy it.
I want to, but hey, bro, everybody just wanna buy everything every day. Like the consumer is very big here.
Like one thing I noticed, so
it's good, easy life, you know, that you can buy anything for your house for whatever you need. But he's a lot, you know.
Yeah, and like if you go to, so it was Easter last weekend, and if you go to the supermarket, there's maybe like 4 or 5 aisles with like holiday shite. Like I'm not being bad, but there's no other word for it. And the day after Easter, it's all like 75-80% off. That's going to end up in landfill, and then it's filled with the next holiday. So like when we moved here, it was Thanksgiving, then it was Christmas, and then Valentine. Don't flick my dog's ear. New Year's, Valentine's Day. Now there's stuff for 4th of July, and it's just, I don't know, like, and then I find myself being like, oh, I'm going to do Kyle an Easter basket. What the fuck's an Easter basket? I got him an Easter egg, and that's sufficient. But I feel like it's so normalized over here that I don't know, you kind of have to question why you're buying things. And then one other thing that I find really strange, not strange here, and this will definitely get us cancelled, is tipping culture.
Tipping.
Yeah. Like I don't mind. Of course I don't mind. Like I understand that when you go out to eat, the wait staff, I think I'm right in saying that they don't earn, like their hourly wage wouldn't be enough to live off.
That's okay if they serve you well, they are working, they give you something.
Yeah.
But sometimes they ask for tip for, they don't even serve you nothing.
Yeah.
Just take something they need to tip, like for what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And like, so when my parents came over in February, we brought them to the Sphere to see the Eagles. So good, best concert ever. And it was my dad's birthday, so we went and bought t-shirts. Did I tell you this? I bought 2 t-shirts that were like $50 each. That's ridiculous for a cotton t-shirt, but whatever. And then whenever I went to pay, the minimum tip was 18%. For the girl literally being like, you want that t-shirt in a small and that t-shirt in a large, yeah. And then I had to tip 18%. So that pisses me off because, and I think there's like a turn of the tides even within American people, because the likes of people who rely on tips and should be getting tips, like wait staff and bar staff and all those things,
they're actually work.
Yeah, they're being tarred with the same brush, that this tipping culture has just gotten out of control. And also, even if I do go to a restaurant and someone serves me, if they're fucking rude, like I remember that woman in the Grand Canyon, she was awful. She was rude to every single person in our party. And then at the end, I was like, I'm not going to tip. And then, of course, I shit myself and tipped 20% because I hate confrontation. But it's just, I think it's like an expectation and coming over from Ireland where, like, if you go out for dinner and you get really good service, 10-15% is more than enough. Whereas here, people would, like, have a go at you if you don't give, like, 20% of a tip. But I know even that's controversial within Americans, so I hope that doesn't get us cancelled. Anyway. What is the weirdest or most uncomfortable thing that someone has said to you online? Or sent you? There's some perverts out there.
People, men and women, send nudes a few times.
I've had a few.
And not just online. One time the guy he said, I love you, where I need to go and see you, meet you, like pushing some meeting with me. And
that's how people get murdered.
It's crazy, like, because they watch me fight and see many times, they think we have close friends or something, but I don't have no idea who he exists, and he just start talking to me things like very intimate, so it's a
what
bit
was
weird.
He saying?
I don't know, I remember it was a few times it happened, but it's just very intimate things, like, I have no idea who you are, bro, like, why you talk to me like this? Yeah.
I actually, probably the worst, like, I've turned off all my comments on social media, and you can only message me if I message you first, or if I follow you, I think, because I just, after one of your fights, the absolute onslaught of horrendous messages, I was just like, fuck this, like, why am I...
Yeah, one time the guy, remember, he wrote a fucking essay.
Oh yeah, get a life.
Talking shit about me, like
an essay.
Everything wrong that I was doing.
Yeah.
How bad that went, like, I don't even know who he is.
Yeah, you just know he's a fucking
Who
loser.
is him to talk shit about my career, my professional, no?
Yeah.
He never trained, he never get a punch in the face.
Yeah. You will never, like, you'll never have shit talkers of other high performing athletes.
Yeah.
You know?
The only one that I accept saying something for me, it's my level athletes.
Yeah.
Somebody ranked in UFC, somebody world champion.
Yeah.
Somebody above me are gonna stop and listen, because they been through and
the thing is,
they were successful. People that are fighter, if they never been successful, never won no championship, nothing, why would listen to them as well? Do you know what I mean?
And the thing is, people above you and people at your level, do you think they have time to write a bloody essay?
They will not talk shit.
No.
They will give you advice.
Yeah. The weirdest thing comment-wise I got was racist. People are horrible. No, people are nice. I don't know, whatever.
I feel like the 1%.
But the 1% are so loud.
So loud,
they probably have
so
like
bad,
10 secret accounts.
Like,
but I remember I posted a photo.
Most of the UFC fans, they are nice. 99%.
And
but
see, when
there
you
is
meet
1%,
them, they're
bro.
just fuckers.
They hurt you, But I appreciate so much more than 99%.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know why, but these 1% have so much negativity and power, because when they start saying some it really hurt you, I don't care anymore, because I learn and I reach a certain level that I ignore them. But people that don't have the experience that I have, they get hurt and they get so annoyed.
But it does irritate you.
It still today annoy me a little bit, because why they gotta take the time to talk shit, bro?
Yeah. My weirdest, most uncomfortable thing was, I remember I posted a photo of my dad and I for Father's Day, and someone commented and said he is going to be disgusted with the mongrel grandchildren you give him, being racist about you because I'm obviously like Irish and you're mixed race, and like that.
What?
He said your dad is going to be so disappointed in the mongrel. Mongrel. It's like a word you would use to describe like a mutt, like a dog that isn't purebred.
Mongrel. I'm a dog, babe.
But I even saying that, it's just weird. Or remember that person told me I look like.
Fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, but I do. That's horrible.
Beautiful blonde woman. It's I
And
went to conquer, take over.
Also, Kai was like the most perfect thing ever. And also remember somebody wrote
mixed
that.
Race
my turn.
Mixed race is the best evolution of beings because.
Well, why do you like me? Because I'm 100% Irish.
On what?
Why do you like me? Because I'm 100% Irish.
Because we mix.
So Kai was the best.
I
but
did
you're
not have
mixed.
Irish on my genetic test.
No, did you not have like 0.1%?
0.5%, 0.5%, so too little.
It's just too little too late, too little too wrong, and I can't wait. And then also a weird thing was, remember somebody wrote that essay about me looking like Hannibal Lecter? Mm-hmm. And then the same person, then I got Invisalign, you know, the braces. And then the same person commented and basically said, like, yes, you looked incredibly like Dr. Lecter. I'm surprised no one has never said this to you before. However, your teeth look a bit different. Have you had some orthodontic work done recently? So I don't know, they weren't even saying I look like Dr. Lecter out of badness. They said particularly the scene that he asks for a nice Chianti. What the hell?
This word is crazy, right?
Okay. Next one. What do you think we have taught each other without even realizing it?
I think I taught you to be more
Chill.
optimistic, and chill.
Yeah.
Like on the beginning, you were so, write on the paper and now realistic. But now you start dreaming a little bit, and when you start dreaming, you start make your dreaming come true. If you never dream, the dream never gonna come true if you don't dream. You need to dream a little bit. It's part of the beauty of life, If you just think it's too hard, it's impossible, it's never gonna do because you're already manifesting that's not gonna happen. You have to manifest and believe in a dream. I think it make you believe a little bit and get a little bit more optimistic.
And what have I taught you?
I think you taught me to be more organized.
This is organized. Do you
I'm
mean
way,
I
I'm way,
organize
I'm
for
way
you?
better than I was before, no? I'm way better, love.
Yeah. I mean, you're still late, but you're just 5 minutes late rather than 15. So it's a work in progress. Yeah. Okay. Next one. Rapid fire. So that means quick. Ready? Who takes longer to get ready?
She.
Her.
Her.
Who said I love you first? Me. How embarrassing. How desperate. But you definitely felt it.
I fell first, she said later.
Who's the better cook? Me. What do you cook apart from Brazilian barbecue? And overnight oats?
Stroganoff.
What, whenever you put the pan on and your mum did it?
We did something in Vodazet.
Yeah, but we burnt, remember we
What
nearly
was
burnt the
that?
apartment down?
What was
That
that?
was stroganoff, but the fire alarm
I
went
do
off.
banoff.
You do a really good stroboffy.
Stroboffy.
Orla loves it.
Okay, she cooked but she cooked better because she was doing my nutrition, my diet, so she improved her skills because of me.
I was never out of the bloody kitchen. Okay, who's more romantic? You.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, no. I don't know, you are sometimes, but then like
I
you
do.
wouldn't be particularly good at like Valentine's Day. Like he forgot it was Valentine's Day and then ran across the road to the petrol station, like the gas station, and
Got a plastic flower?
got a plastic flower and then a key ring that lights up and says Las Vegas.
No, said Tara, no?
Well, it said my name on the back as well. Like, but yeah, you are romantic. Okay, who's more stubborn?
What stubborn means?
Like doesn't change their mind?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably a bit of both. Like, you don't
if
change
I'm right, why am I gonna change my mind?
Yeah, but sometimes you're not right. There's some things you like I actually have to say to you, and I remember one of your friends in Dublin was like, can we just stop talking about this because we're not going to agree? So there are some things that I'm like with you with that because I just like I don't want to hear that you think the earth is flat. You know?
You don't know if I'm right or wrong.
Okay, fight or life. Who gets more nervous before a fight? 100% me. I'm medicated to the hills. The last few fights have been awful because I was pregnant, so I couldn't even take a Xanax. Next one. What's Johnny's weirdest pre-fight ritual? You don't really have one, I guess. Sushi?
Yeah, I was having sushi.
Yeah, we do sushi on a Friday night after he's made weight and to recover it because it's
Fuck,
pretty
I
good
didn't eat
for carb heavy.
sushi on my last fight.
See, I'm superstitious. My superstition, I guess it's like a pre-fight ritual, is that I have to have I'm really superstitious. Like, you know, your Jamal fight. I woke up that day and I was going to the gym and I was like, oh, should I choose my red sports bra or my blue? And I think I chose red. And you were in the blue corner.
I don't think nothing that really matter, but what's matter is the way up to the fight, so how you do your whole camping training, stress management, everything you right to do, you know.
Superstitious, yeah.
But
like,
if this superstition can
help you.
trick your mentality to be more
Better.
very confident, because fight is one of the biggest thing in fighting game is be confident, because when you start doubt yourself, you start losing the fight. You don't.
Yeah, if you think you're gonna lose.
If you hold yourself, you don't trust. You should punch at that time. The guy gonna punch you and then done.
Yeah. And my other superstition is that I have to wear an outfit from a brand called O Polly. Because I wore that brand when you had like a 3-fight win streak, and then I didn't wear it.
Okay.
So I've already got a dress for your next fight.
Okay. From that brand?
Yeah. Would you let Worm fight professionally? No. Not that
I would let him do train and see what. Hopefully he don't need, you know.
Yeah, because you kind of fall out of need.
That's my profession. I have to do this until I retire. But if you want to do another sport, less risk and less damage.
That would be
not
better.
easier, but you know, I just don't want to see my son take the risk to get punched in the face, broke some bones and stuff like that.
I'd say, like, I want to get him into loads of sports, and if he excels and really enjoys MMA, okay, but I would rather see him play something like golf or darts with a lower injury risk. Okay, what is your most annoying habit in fight camp?
A habit?
Yeah.
Annoying?
Yeah. Probably, like, you're actually so much better at it now, but like in a few camps ago, it was actually like your Paul Craig camp. You were stressed but didn't realise it, and we were about to get married. And I remember I asked you, can you get your birth certificate, because we need it to legally get married in Ireland. And you would blow up at me and then be like, it's about this birth certificate. Obviously it wasn't about the bloody birth certificate, you were just stressed about the fight. So you're not really bad anymore, but previously
I learn and improve a lot.
Yeah.
But
tell this dog to calm down.
Danny, relax.
Annoying.
Relax.
Has Johnny ever lost something right before a fight? Yeah, you're really bad for going to fights and then being like, I forgot my sauna suit, mouth guard, cup. The amount of times he's gone and I've had to go on Amazon and buy like all these different things because you forgot them. So yeah. Okay. This or that. Stop.
Relax.
Stop giving him attention.
Relax.
What is your weirdest habit?
Weirdest?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's weird. I like to shave my body. Like
that's weird.
Take all of the hair.
Oh, I know, when you put it in my sink. What's my weirdest habit?
Besides your non-eating? Mm-hmm. Your non-eating.
Chewing my cheek.
Oh yeah, she's sometimes, she don't even know what she's doing. No. She's just like...
And people think I'm pouting, and I'm not. I just have this really bad habit of like grinding my teeth, chewing my gum, or chewing my thing. Who talks more in their sleep?
Who talks more, or who the only one that talks when they sleep?
Yeah,
I don't talk more or less. You talk. I have a few videos that
you will never show anyone.
I'm gonna put on this podcast.
No, you're not.
Yeah, she's like 56.
Pugs.
Pug is hard to say.
But I'm like half awake.
What the fuck?
It's creepy because I've no recollection of it, and
sometimes
my eyes
she
are kind of open.
her eyes and
yeah.
She's lip talking.
Yeah, I sleepwalk and everything. Remember, I stood up on the bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I still.
I have to hold her like fuck. Yeah. Love, come back.
And then I wake up and I get embarrassed. And then my most recent thing is I wake up and I think Kyo's in the bed with us, and you're gonna roll over and squash him, and you have to be like, Kyo's in his room and he has been for 3 months. Like, what are you doing? Okay, who's more dramatic when they're sick? You. Honest to God, it's touch and go if he doesn't get a length.
Because I don't get sick very often. When I get, is a very annoying thing. Like, I don't like to be like that.
But you don't need to annoy everyone. It's like he'll have a sniffly nose and you would think he's on death's door. Actually, I'm going to tell the story about the time in Thailand. So we went
there
to Thailand.
was a fucking birth.
You had
pain.
acid reflux.
Wasn't acid reflux.
It was acid reflux because
My tummy get cramps inside me and I couldn't move. There is nothing to do with acid.
and they give you omeprazole and you were fine.
My stomach muscle inside like squeeze my organs or something.
No, so we were flying home from Thailand.
You don't know what happened. The doctor doesn't know.
They give you I do know because
I just relax and stop the pain. I couldn't walk.
you're just.
Look my size. If some pain make me stop
Can I
walk,
tell
it's
my
a very strong
point
pain.
of view? We were flying home from Thailand. Johnny wakes up and he has awful stomach pains. I'm not like it is awful when you get those tummy pains. I've had them before. I had them on our wedding day because I starved myself and then I had a steak and black coffee and champagne. But you literally, we went to the pharmacy. Anyway, we went to A&E. He was taken in a fucking wheelchair. He's so dramatic. And what did they do? Bloods. Your bloods were fine, and then they give you a omeprazole, which is an antacid, which you can buy over the counter. And he was fine.
But
Next
my
question.
stomach was in cramps inside. Have you ever feel inside cramps?
Yes.
Look like your organs is twitching
I literally had it on our wedding
each
day.
other. Like it's like I can't move.
Yeah.
Very sore.
And then he had the cheek to say something like, that was probably what giving birth was like.
Huh.
Next
For me,
question.
it was look like
What's
that.
your most ridiculous reason for getting annoyed with me? Don't say my nonny.
No. Not when we are talking, right? And then we start arguing,
Never.
and then
I walk away.
you walk off. No, I need to fucking finish it. Like, let's finish this business. Like, why you don't want to finish talking? Like,
But I only do that.
The problem starts. Let's finish the problem. I realized that we escalate a little bit. Sometimes I walk off too. Sometimes I better so we stop arguing.
Yeah.
But it's so annoying when I'm talking to you and you just like walk off.
I
like
know, but do you not realize that you're maybe talking? But you're maybe talking in a way that I'm like, I'm not going to engage with this because you're escalating. So by me walking away, it's de-escalating the situation.
The situation, but escalating my anger.
Yeah, but it makes you more pissed off, but it's probably better for the betterment.
Mm-hmm.
What's the most ridiculous? What do I think the most ridiculous thing for annoying you? I don't know, when you genuinely are like, what? Or like I'll say something and then you'll say something completely different, or like today I asked you to pick up the bags for going shopping and you were like, what bags? And I'm like, please just use your brain before you ask me the question a third time.
Why I have to pick the bag? You need to give me a reason first.
But why do you think?
I don't know.
Because we were going grocery shopping.
I didn't know that. You didn't told me that.
Why? We were hardly going to Aldi for the crack.
Yeah, I don't for the crack don't mean like you go for a shopping. You go for the crack.
No, I said
just see what's good, but not to make a shopping list.
We're hardly going to go on an outing to a supermarket and not.
I don't know.
Okay, would you rather never train again or never cuddle again?
Never what?
Cuddle.
I have to pick one.
Yeah.
I like cuddles.
So never fight again? Never train again?
Yeah.
Just-
After I retire, I don't need to train anymore.
Okay. Would you rather be stuck in a sauna with me or my parents?
On the sauna? Stuck?
Yeah.
For how long?
I don't 30 minutes.
With you?
Oh my god, you don't like my parents?
I like them, but why are you gonna be in the sauna stuck with them? I can have a
Yeah, that's a weird
conversation on the
question.
sofa with them. On the sauna, I can do another stuff.
Would you rather only whisper or only shout for the rest of your life? You fucking shout already.
Whisper. Hey, let's go.
Okay, what, this one, have you ever pretended to be asleep to avoid something? Sex.
I'm tired. Okay, let's talk about it. My tummy's sore. You pretend to be sick when you fart. Like fart and yeah, I fart. Smell it.
I don't.
No, she fart. My tummy's sore.
I
so sore. My tummy.
I don't. That's
Your tummy
so
no
rude.
sore. You're just farting.
My tummy is sore. Remember what you went to Thailand for? That's my
No,
tell me the answer. Yes.
Next
it is.
question.
If we swapped lives for a day, what would you do first?
One thing that I remember now that you're so annoying that annoy me. She don't never take the blame for something. You see?
Because I'm never wrong.
Yeah, she's always right. She never take the blame. Like, she's wrong.
Never.
She fart and blaming my tummy's sore, and she said no.
If we swapped lives for a day, what would you do first?
Touch myself.
What's the first thing I would do? I don't know.
You gonna wank too?
Probably. What would my UFC nickname be if you picked it? TC Top Cat.
Little princess.
Ew.
You're too cute to be a fighter.
Yeah, it'd be fucking awful. Okay, one word answers. Texting or calling. Depends who it is. So I can't do a one word answer.
Text or calling?
Yeah.
What I read?
Yeah.
Text sometimes, yeah.
But calling's easier, but sometimes I just don't want to speak to people. Like I'll watch, I'm like, ew, why are you calling me? Or if it's an unknown number, it's not getting answered and I'm Googling it. Training or resting? Training. Dogs or cats? Dogs.
Dogs.
I'm sorry to say this, but if you prefer cats to dogs, I don't trust you. Pizza or sushi? Pizza.
Sushi.
I don't get the hype of sushi. Stay in or go out? Stay in.
Stay in.
We're hermits. Okay, last one. What's one word you would use to describe each other? Think about it, and then when you're ready, we'll do 1, 2, 3.
One word?
Yeah. I don't know.
1, 2, 3. Wife.
Husband.
What's la?
I was gonna say love.
Wife.
Yeah.
My wife.
My children. Okay, that was all my questions, I think. Hopefully that isn't boring.
Was really good. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you for watching. Comment below what you guys think, what you guys want to see me do next. Maybe a couple challenge. We make a challenge. We're gonna post very soon, or maybe we'll post before or after this. We don't know.
Yeah. Comment as well who you would like to see in the podcast. To be honest, I just stepped in because
we don't have much guests yet.
Yeah. So comment below if you never want to see me again. I won't take it personally. Or like who else you want to see. I think you've got like a few fighters from the gym you're going to ask.
Yeah, they're coming.
And what other topics you want to talk about.
Not just the podcast, but on my channel, what you guys want to see me doing, you know?
Yeah, feedback would be greatly appreciated because I am trying to do a bit of work on that and I don't know my arse from my elbow.
It's just for you, my friends. Thank you for watching. Subscribe. Give me a like and comment.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Good?
Very good.